Hello everyone, greetings of the day. In the previous lecture, we have discussed the total quality management and the practices that are taken place to achieve the total quality management, okay, or the principles of total quality management. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss the quality management through statistical process control and cultural changes. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss these two topics. To manage the quality or to achieve the quality management, we can use the two approaches. That is nothing but the statistical process control, and the second one approach is, or the method is, cultural changes. Okay, so in today's lecture we will discuss the both these approaches towards the quality management. So let us start with first, that is nothing but quality management through SPC. Okay, quality management through statistical process control. Okay, so first of all, what is statistical process control? The statistical process control is a method of quality control which employ the statistical method to monitor and control the process. Means what? By using this statistical process, we are going to use, or we are going to implement, we are going to employ a statistical method to monitor and control the process in a quality control process. With the help of this, we can help, or this can help us to ensure the process is operating efficiently and producing the more specification, confirming the product with less waste. Okay, obviously whenever we are going to produce the less wastage through any kind of product manufacturing, we can say that we are producing a quality product. Okay, and the and the statistical process control is helping us to ensure the process operating efficiently and producing the more specification with less wastage. Okay, so this is the statistical process control. Okay, so SPC, this statistical process control, uses statistic to achieve and maintain the control of process and production variation within the repetitive manufacturing processes. Within the manufacturing process, we are going to carry out this statistical process control repetitively, so that we can achieve and maintain the control of process and production variation within that manufacturing process. Then next is there, that is SPC is going to apply the statistical process control is going to apply probability and sampling theory to production process. Okay, to the production process, or the or the any kind of process, we are going to use the applied probability and the sampling theory. Through that, we can mark the or plot the quality plotting. Okay, so SPC is going to apply the probability and sampling theory to the production process. SPC also help us to prevent the manufacture defective product relative to the set of customer specification limits. Within considering the customer specification limit, this software process control is help us to prevent the manufacturer defective product. Okay, to manufacture the defective product. Then SPC requires detailed analysis of the product process. Okay, this SPC, whenever we are going to use this statistical process control, it will require you to analyze the production process, typically using the process flow analysis chart. We are going to use the process flow analysis chart for this purpose. In every organization, quality must be planned at the organization level, and every organization is going to plan that all the quality levels. Okay, at the organization level, and they are having some kind of attributes with them, so that we can measure the quality of that product. So this quality must be planned at the organization level. So this quality that we have planned at the organization level can be represented with the help of control chart. Okay, we can represent that quality that organization has planned, that can be plotted with the help of control chart, and is also called as process chart. We are going to call the chart, the control chart, as a process chart, or we can also call it as a quality control chart. Okay, this process chart, that quality control chart, is nothing but a graph, okay, that shows whether a sample of data falls within a common or natural range variation. Okay, it is a graph when that shows whether the sample of data falls within the common or natural range of variation. Okay, means whenever we are going to get the quality of that production or quality of that process, that graph should be maintained. The sample of data that we are having, that should be falls within the common or natural range variation. Okay, so what is this natural range of variation and common and natural range of variation? That is already plotted on your control chart. Our control chart is having upper and lower control limits that separate common from assignable causes of variation, that are going to separate the common from assignable causes of variation. There are different causes that can make some kind of variation. These control charts are having this kind of upper and lower control limits. The common range of variation is defined by the use of control chart limit. This common range of variation is defined by the use of control chart limit that we are having with the help of our organization. And this upper limit and lower limit, whenever we are going to check our product whether that product is in a quality or maintaining quality or not, that product should be in between that upper bound and in between that lower bound, right? That is nothing but the common variation range. Your product should meet these ranges, and that should be in between that range. Okay, so this is nothing but quality management through statistical process control. Then next is there, that is quality management through cultural changes. We all know that there are changes which are rapidly changing in today's world. The only thing that is that we cannot change the change, right? The change is the only thing that is sustainable in this world. So there will be always change in the customer's expectation, the customer's need, and that is going to be change in future also. Thus every organization that want to be to have competitive have to react quicker and more flexible, right? Means any organization that want to compete with the other organizations in an industry, that every organization should react quicker and should be flexible with the customers requirements and customers expectations and needs. They have to continuously listen to the customers expectations, customers needs, and they should able to, or they should be able to quickly adapt to these new needs and new expectations in term of new products, right? There is only one way that they should come to the expectations of customer, or they should come up to the needs of customer, that is nothing but through their product. So they just have to develop, or they just have to produce such a kind of products that are always going to that are always going to complete the customers expectations, the changing expectations, and customers changing needs, right? So this is nothing but the changes in the expectations and needs of customer. And due to the changes in this customers needs and customers expectations, there may be chance to come there are chances to change in the culture of that organization. Okay, and the same changes in culture are going to help the organization to change its structure. Means the change in expectations and the needs of customers are going to help us to change in culture of organization, right? And as the culture of organization is going to be changed, that change in that organization is going to make changes in its structure. Means once that organization is adapting to the new culture, is adopting the accepting the new culture, that means they should have to go on through the new structure, right? And it comes with the culture also, right? As you are going to change the culture, your structure is going to be changed. Okay, so the culture is nothing but change. The culture change will work as a lever. Okay, so it is said that the culture change will work as a lever. So as the culture is changed to team thinking, the function oriented structure will change towards the process oriented structure, and it is the very important part to achieve the quality in your process. So if the culture changed from team thinking, the function oriented structure will change towards the more process oriented structure. And due to this, we can achieve quality very efficiently. One of the scientists named Philip Crosby developed the concept of zero defect. The Philip Crosby has developed the concept of zero defect, through which we can achieve the product with zero defect or no defect. Okay, so how we can achieve this zero defect product, or what we can do for that purpose? The Philip Crosby has some four absolute quality management concepts. Okay, this quality or zero defect can be achieved by using the four absolute quality management concept. The first is, quality is defined as conformance to requirement, not a goodness or elegance. The quality of product can be measured only with the help of requirements. If that product is fulfilling or fulfill the requirements of customer, or meet to the customer's requirement or expectations, then only that product should be said that the quality product. And it should not be like that if that product is looking very good, it is very beautiful, then that product should not be called as a quality product. It only depends on how that product is going to meet to the customer's requirement. So this is the first thing of Crosby's four absolute of quality management. Then second is there, that is, the system for causing quality is prevention, not the appraisal. Prevention is going to help us from causing quality or the degradation of quality, and it is not appraisal. Just different kinds of measurements and doing different kind of things, we cannot maintain the quality. It only depends on the prevention at the process level. Okay, so the system for causing quality is a prevention one, and it is not the appraisal. Okay, then third one is there, that is, the performance standard must be zero defect. Okay, the performance standard of your product, that should be zero defect, means it should not have any kind of defect. It should have zero defect. Okay, and it should not be like that, that's close enough, means it is just close enough to the zero defect. That means if it is close enough, means that it is having the some kind of minor defect, and that can be calculated as a defect, and that product should not be a zero defect. So the performance standard that we are going to measure the product's performance, that should be zero defect. That means that product should not have any kind of defect in that product. Then next is there, that is, the measurement of quality is the price of non-conformance, not the indices. The measurement of quality, how we are going to measure the quality of that product? That is nothing but price of non-conformance. The price of non-conformance means what? The price of non-conformance means the price of wastage or the conformance of the requirement, right? If there are some lagging, we are lagging in some kind, some defects are there, so that price is nothing but the measurement of quality. In that term, we are going to measure the quality, and it cannot be measured with the help of indices. We cannot measure that with the help of indices. The measurement of quality is measured only with the price of non-conformance, and it cannot be measured with the help of indices. Okay, so this is the uh, quality management through cultural change. Whenever such a kind of cultural changes are need to be taken place into your organization, that organization should adopt those changes, cultural changes or any kind of changes according to the expectations of customer and needs of customer. They should quickly react to such a kind of things and adopt themselves, and they have to adopt all those things so that they can fulfill the customers requirement and customers expectations, customers needs, and can produce the zero defect products. Okay, so this is the today's topic, in which we just have discussed the uh, quality management through uh, two ways. There are two ways. First is statistical process control and another is cultural changes. So today we will stop here. In next lecture we will discuss the another topic. So we are stop today we will stop here. Thank you.